You guys are seeing this raw and uncut. Hey family, welcome back. Season 2. I don't even know where I've been. I don't even know where I've been. Honestly, work has taken over. Life has been double lifing, and I've been on hiatus, but I'm back, and I'm back for this first episode in the most unpolished, uncut, raw way. When I tell you, I have no scripts, I have no notes, I don't have anything planned. I wanted to come and make this first episode as real as possible. Not to say that others aren't real, but this is impromptu. And I really just wanted to share with you guys what's been on my heart. My prayer is that it helps somebody who's going through something similar. So first and foremost, welcome to SIR. Welcome to the SIR pod. SIR stands for Stand in Righteousness. And it's a podcast to educate, motivate, and encourage you to live a life pleasing to God. Right? So we're learning how to live a life that God has intended for us to live. Right? They say the prayers of a righteous man is powerful. So we aim to be powerful people, right? We aim to be righteous so that when we intercede for others, when we ask God for things, when we praise God, when we worship God, it goes straight to Him, right? So here's what I wanted to talk to you about. I recently had a birthday, September 20th. I don't know when this is airing, so I don't know how long ago this was for whenever you see it. But I turned years old, and I wanted to start this chapter really having direction and vision for my life, because I'm like, God, I'm at a certain age now. Like, I made so many mistakes in my 20s, and I lived so much for the world and in the world that I wasted a lot of time. But God is a redeemer of time, so it's not even about that. It's just, I don't want to waste any more time. I don't want Him to have to redeem any more time for me, right? So I really wanted some vision for my life, and I'm in a season where things aren't very clear for me right now. And I decided that I was going to do a fast starting last week, Tuesday. And so here's my first point to you. Whenever you are approaching a spiritual discipline like fasting, really be aware of what your weaknesses are and what the devil is going to use to deter you, distract you, and throw you off guard. So I started Tuesday, but I decided I was going to do it on Monday. And from Monday night, the attack started. It started with my mind. So if anyone knows me, I'm very much an overthinker. I overthink for fun. For free. You don't even have to pay me. I just overthink. One of the easiest ways to get to me, if I was the devil, was to penetrate my mind. And that's exactly what he did. And Monday night, I had all these thoughts about people, about things, about friendships. And all of these things were playing in my mind. And it was just very overpowering. And then the next day, another thing, be very mindful of the decisions you make when you're under attack, because you make decisions that's outside of your moral compass. You make decisions that's outside of your rationale. You make decisions that's outside of the way you would normally handle things or respond to things. You just make decisions based off feeling. And feelings, they're indicators, they're not dictators. So they just indicate that something is happening, but they shouldn't dictate how you respond or approach a person or situation. So I was having all these thoughts Monday night. Tuesday morning, oh my gosh, I was bombarded. I was bombarded with sexual thoughts, with thoughts of people betraying me and not having my best interests at heart. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. And then Tuesday evening, or was it Wednesday? Sorry, Wednesday. So in the past, I've been attacked when it comes to vehicles. So, I've been carjacked whilst being in the car. I've had someone jump on my car while I'm driving. Yeah, it's a whole story for a whole nother time. So I have a lot of trauma and PTSD where that is concerned. Like, don't come up behind me and like surprise me, or don't like slam yourself in the car, or nothing like that. Like, I get easily triggered because of the experiences I've been through. And Wednesday, I was just minding my business at work, and I was like, let me go and get some soup to for the time that I do break the fast. Let me get some soup to kind of ease the transition. And let me tell you, I went to go buy some soup, and I pulled up at the side of the shop and I parked. And there was this man coming around the corner. He didn't look homeless, but he looked like he was on drugs. And he was stumbling. He was very unstable. And he had like all drool coming out his mouth. And I'm watching him because I'm thinking, what's about to happen here? And he comes and he's walking past the car. And all of a sudden I heard bam, like pow. And I realized that he slammed himself on my car. And honestly, I froze. Now, in like chaotic situations, I'm actually pretty good. Unless you're vomiting as a phobia, then I've tapped out. But outside of like vomit or throw up or anything like that, I'm pretty good in chaotic situations, in keeping myself calm, keeping people calm. But bruh, for this one here, when it came to like those type of things, I froze. And I know my heart, it went into my stomach. And this man, I saw him, he slammed himself on the car. He ended up falling at the side of the car, and he like spread out. But the way his arm was, it was like one arm was underneath my car, so I couldn't drive off. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh my days, like what is happening? And then he started to like foam at the mouth. He started to tremble. Someone called the ambulance. Then he was fine. Then he wasn't fine. Then one ambulance came. Then two ambulances came. Then three and I was like, oh, what is oh, how did we get here? So we're praying, me and my colleague were in the car, we're praying for this man, but I asked her to pray because honestly, I was just frozen. And because of that, my blood pressure went up, and my head, I had the worst migraine. Oh my days, like the whole side of my face, the whole side of my head, I couldn't turn left or couldn't turn right. It was the mercy of God how I drove back to work. And even when I got to work, I had to take about an hour because I just couldn't move my head. And I was just thinking to myself, like, why is these things happening? But then I realized the enemy knows my weaknesses, and he knows my fears, and he knows how to get me and how to throw me off guard. And that is one way to do it. That is one way to do it. And then the next day after that, as if like that, between the mind and then the PTSD and the trauma, like that's enough, right? That's good for the week. I'm good. And then I got sick, just out of the blue, just random. I woke up, my throat was hurting, my body was weak. I was like, what is going on? And it was just one thing after the other. One thing after the other. I realized, I got on my knees last night. True story. I got on my knees last night. And I just cried. And I cried and I said, God, help me, because my mind is being penetrated with all of these thoughts that I know are not of me. It's making me feel like I'm a horrible person. It's making me feel like I'm not loved or cared for, or that you're upset with me, or like all of these things. I'm triggered. I have anxiety. I'm looking at everybody sideways. Like, God, just please help me. I didn't have many words for God. Even me telling you is probably more words than I said last night. But I was just still in the moment with him. And God, in his sovereignty. You know, I woke up the next morning and my mom messaged me and she sent me a link to our church back in London. A friend of mine, she was preaching, and her word was, you know, yielding to God, yielding and being still and, you know, waiting on God and all of these things that I had been, which was the reason I even started fasting in the first place, to get direction. And it was good. The sermon was excellent, but I still felt, for me, I was like, God, I still feel drained. I still feel drained after watching it. It was such a powerful message and it was, you know, brilliant. And it was everything I needed to hear, but I felt drained. And then I went to my church and it was International Day, big up Jamaica, all right? I don't even have my flag with me, but I had it earlier. There was a guest preacher and he was talking. It was like the sermon that my mom sent me earlier was the foundation. And then his preaching was about the scheme of the enemy, that the enemy has a scheme. He knows your weaknesses. He knows how to get you. He knows how to distract you. He knows how to discourage you. So the enemy has a scheme, but God has a strategy. And God's strategy outlasts the scheme of the enemy. And I was listening so intently and I just felt it in my spirit. I felt like, yeah, these are the schemes of the enemy. I've decided that I was going to fast and pray and just be locked in with God. And since then, it's been attack after attack after attack in different ways. You know, another thing the pastor said was, you cannot stand in the physical, stand strong, unless you withstand some things in the spiritual realm. So what he means by that is, unless you can persevere through those attacks, unless you can persevere through the heartbreak, unless you can persevere through the disappointment, unless you can persevere through the grief, unless you can persevere through the debt, unless you can persevere through the misunderstandings and the, you know, you might not have all the answers and you just having to wait and be patient. If you can persevere through the marriage, if you can persevere through the divorce, like whatever, like just put your thing in there, right? Whatever that thing is, if you can withstand that, then you can stand strong in who you are and who God's called you to be and who God has designed you and prepared you and purposed you to be in this earth. You can stand on that strong because you know you've been through some stuff. So I've come here today, unfiltered, no script, no plan, no verse, like nothing. I have nothing planned. All I ask is the Holy Spirit to guide me. And this is for anyone who right now may be in a season that it feels like it's one thing after another thing. And it's just back to back. And the enemy's on your tail and he's on your neck. And I'm sitting here to you, not on the other side. Like, I'm not coming to you like, oh yeah, and I withstood and now, you know, look what I have. Like, no, I'm coming to you in the middle of the withstanding, in the middle of still not having my answers and the clarity, in the middle of still fasting and prepare myself for anything else that the enemy have. And I know I did this video, so I know something is about to come. So now I'm preparing. Now I'm preparing for his tactics and what he's doing. And now I'm starting to learn how he tries to get me. And once I'm prepared for that, and I know that God has my back, and I know that God has a strategy, and I know that whatever it is I'm praying for, God already has the answer. I just need to wait. No, I really am talking to myself. I need to wait and I need to be patient. But I know it's not only me. I know there are some of you that need to wait. There are some of you that need to be patient. There are some of you that need to fast. There are some of you that needs to leave the job or take the job. There are some of you that need to talk up. There are some of you that need to let that friend go. Whatever it is that is your thing, right? Whatever it is, You cannot stand strong in who God called you to be unless you withstand. And I just want to encourage everybody that God is with you. God saw me last night when I was on my knees. I was even on my knees. I just sat down at the side of the bed because I didn't even have it in me to be on my knees. I just sat. God sees you. He is near to the brokenhearted. That's his word. His word says he is near to the brokenhearted. So whenever you feel like this is just not easing up, it's just one thing after the other. One thing, God is with you. God sees you. You know, I was reading in Daniel where the angel said, like, I was being prevented from coming to you. From the moment you decided that you was taking this seriously and you fasted and prayed, I was on my way with the answer. But there were principalities set in place that prevented me, and I needed the archangel to come. Was it Michael or Gabriel? One of them angels, please forgive me again, it's impromptu, to come and fight some principalities that were at place because I needed to get to you. But from the moment you had decided that you were seeking the Lord, I was on my way. And I think for some of us, that's what it feels like. It feels like, God, I'm taking you seriously. I'm praying, I'm asking, where's the answer? Because that's how I feel right now. Like, God, where's the answer? So you never know, but just keep pushing. Please don't give up. The enemy's scheme is only temporary, but God's strategy is long term. He has a plan. His word says that I know the plans I have for you, a plan to prosper you, right? It's not to harm you. He is not doing anything that's going to bring you harm. You know, look to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, right? You are in his hands, and he's never going to forsake you. Even though it may feel like it, even though it feels like he's quiet, right? He hears you. And I'm coming to you, and I can't wait to give you an update and go, yeah, and I got the answers, and this is where I'm at now, and all of that. Like I'm looking forward to that bit, but I'm not there right now. I'm not there. I'm just coming to help anyone who's where I'm at right now. So this is season 2, episode 1, raw and uncut. I have nothing else for you but my life right now. I pray this reaches you, whoever you are. And just stay encouraged. You know, one of my spiritual mothers, she says that to me a lot. You know, stay encouraged, stay encouraged. It sounds Christianese, right? But really do. Stay encouraged. And we are in this together. All right. So thank you for staying with me through to the end. I appreciate you. And I will see you soon. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.